from Bitbox.
Hello, Bitcoin Queen. Thank you, everybody, for listening to us. We are in the middle of our week of a tremendous agenda here at the Sagamore Hotel. 7 days of industry, all the crypto industry that is not only local, but some others that are arriving to the city. So we're happy to welcome everybody. And for this session, we have the extraordinary DeFi Kingdoms in partnership, and we're going to talk about this more with Harmony Protocol. And without further ado, my Bitcoin Queen, uh, thank you so much, everybody that is listening and watching us right now live.
All right, guys. So shout out to everyone who's in the Metaverse. But we are here IRL with this awesome guy. He is the head of business development for DeFi Kingdom. So he's going to tell us all about what they are doing in partnership with Harmony Protocol, who is supporting them so graciously. So first and foremost, tell us your name. Tell us a little bit about DeFi Kingdom and a little more of your role.
Sure. Hi, happy to be here. Really excited. My name is Dreamer on Twitter, Dreamer DFK. I am the head of business, as you mentioned. So I'm working with a really great team in DeFi Kingdoms to bring to the world a very new kind of product. The project itself is really a DEX, decentralized exchange. It has dynamic NFTs. And it's gamified. So for anybody that's played like Zelda, Final Fantasy, that nostalgic feeling of the pixelated art comes out in the game. It's quite beautiful. That's why we have all of our NFT heroes here on display for people to see and enjoy. Happy to talk a little bit more about the utility there, but that's the overview.
Amazing. So first and foremost, gamification in the crypto space. Obviously, we went into DeFi summer last year and people had fun with that. But now we get into NFTs and people are flipping JPEGs because it's funner, because it's art. So what are you guys doing exactly to gamify? You said you have dynamic NFTs. Tell me a little bit more about that. Tell me how people can, earn when they play with this DEX.
Sure. Great question. So we kind of gamified it a few different ways. To start, we launched end of August recently, and it was a beautiful map. So you go in, rather than a very simple linear website that you just kind of click through and trade, we have taken the thought of the DEX being a garden. So you have various liquidity pools, right? In DeFi Kingdoms, you have gardens. And each garden represents that pairing that the people can stake seeds or liquidity pool tokens into the garden to create that liquidity that really drives the DEX. So for those that are unfamiliar with DeFi in general and how the DEX works, the gamified approach to help it be a little bit more understandable, right? So you come in, you're clicking through this beautiful realm, you're going into the gardens to add liquidity, you're going into the marketplace to start to trade. It starts to bring out that gamified approach. The second phase that we did is launch the hero NFTs that mentioned are dynamic. These are NFTs that are not only beautiful to look at and have like rare drops and genetics that will kind of sync back and forth as you summon. I know that other things like CryptoKitty says breed, but we try to say summon. As you summon back and forth, it does pass on those traits. So from an artistic perspective, it's beautiful, it's fun. However, the difference is they can actually interact with the blockchain. You can quest them, gain experience, and level them up, and they become more valuable. The utility grows. The actual visual representation of the NFTs is more like a card, like a trading card. So on the front, you'll see your hero. That's going to have one of 8 core classes, like an archer or a monk or a warrior. Then you flip to the back, and those classes will have corresponding stats. Those stats will depend, or dictate how good you are at a certain quest. Like a mining quest, you're going to need a lot of strength and endurance. So if you have a hero NFT with a high strength and endurance, you're going to be more effective at mining. And the fruits of mining that will kind of translate into earning will also be more effective. Therefore, that hero NFT is more valuable.
Very interesting. What I'm hearing is that you're taking these complex concepts that we have in DeFi, such as liquidity pool, mining, all these things, and you're gamifying them. Texas, yeah. And you're gamifying them through this DEX and giving people the opportunity to play as they're learning, really, is what they're doing. So question regarding the way you guys do mining in the game. How does that work? And I'm pretty sure in-game currency is Jewel, correct?
That is correct. So we launched on Harmony. We are actually calling the realm there Serendale. It's kind of like hot off the press. Recently, just announced today, a few hours ago, our new realm on another chain, Avalanche, is going to be called Crystal Vale.
Avalanche,
So,
very nice.
yeah, so we really are trying to target good chains that are accommodating growth and gaming. So you need low finality and you need low fees. Harmony was the perfect place to start for that. They have the lowest fees. They're focusing constantly on RPC and low finality, constantly improving. Avalanche is similar, right? A little bit higher, but still low and affordable way to game. And they're very hungry to have good games there. So as we are in Serendale and you go to Crystal Vale and you have kind of a deck set each, and different ways for people to understand from the gamified approach what is really happening when they're putting in their seeds into the garden. There's a lot of kind of long-term roadmap building there.
First of all, I want to take a pause and give a quick shout out to Harmony because what you said was very important. Low gas fees, low barrier to entry. That's super important when you're getting new people into the crypto space, especially when it comes to blockchain gaming. And we all know that because, it used to be CryptoKitties back in the day. We had things like Splinterlands, but it got expensive. ETH got expensive. I used to be not that I'm not, but I'm a huge Wax fan as well on the EOS chain, but it's getting expensive as things are going on. So Harmony, we really appreciate you for keeping those fees low. So keep it up. So tell me a little more about your community, your fan base. Who are these users? Are they located in certain geographical areas? And how has the response to the game been so far?
Yeah, the response has been incredible. I think if you look geographically, we are heavy in the US, but we have a good presence in the Philippines, Singapore. We're building our presence in Korea. Recently, I think in Japan, it's been building all across Europe as well. Latin America also building. So if you go into our Discord, everything happens in English, mostly in the general chat. But we have a chat for every language, right? And we're really looking for what we call bards or kind of brand ambassadors to come on and help their community. So if there's language skills that we don't have and you're interested in DeFi Kingdoms, Spicy Maple Cat is our marketing head.
Spicy Maple Cat.
Shout out to Spicy Maple Cat. So we're always looking to build community. I feel like community is the heart of, I guess, the long-term stability, not only the ramp up. We don't want to just be a blip in the system with hype, pre-sales and everything. We actually haven't done any pre-sales at all. We did very little marketing even when we launched. We let the project itself kind of do the marketing up front. But long term, that the community, we're keeping one Discord for all of our realms that we will have so that we do bring everybody together from different chains.
I wanted to tap in there in the multiple chains, and I appreciate if the technical support can give us a little bit more volume on our microphones so that people that is on the live stream can hear it as well. A little bit higher on the microphones, I appreciate it. And I love the extraordinary power of multi-chain development. And you guys are tapping into Harmony. Now you're talking about Avalanche that has footprints here in Miami as well for Harmony since day zero, since day one. They have supported not only Beat Basel, but Miami Blockchain Week. And they really want to work with the developers. It is a blockchain that has a tremendous capacity. What you guys were just tapping about, not only to build but the gas fees. I want to go back a little bit in how did all started. Where did you guys started, and how do you see now going into the multi-chain powers? How is that story from the very beginning? How the humble beginnings? So what's it called? How you guys started, and where are you guys right now? How big is your community?
Sure. Great question. So I don't want to misrepresent anything in terms of the origins. So I am not part of the core founding group. The founder is Frisky Fox.
You're here now. It's okay.
I am representing, but
Thank you for being in Miami, by
Frisky Fox, who I'm sure will continue to get a lot of exposure, and maybe we could do some type of follow-up thing later in the week. But he and a few others, Pieface is kind of one of our design leads. Sinstar is kind of the head of all the creative. they kind of were the origin of the thought. A lot of us are nerds, whether outwardly or kind of in the closet. I grew up surfing, scuba diving, playing sports, but I really like to play Final Fantasy and other games in the background. I think a lot of similar minds that actually had very professional, successful careers got together and said, "Hey, there's a need for this. Let's give it a shot." And people started to consider doing this on the side in their free time. And many of us have actually given up our jobs altogether. So my last day at my job was Monday. I spent
Congratulations.
10 years at a global investment bank. So maybe that's a discussion for a different time when we were talking about blockchain and decentralization and DeFi. But
Welcome to the light side.
other people have said the dark side, but I like thinking of
No, man. The dark side is the wheel. It's the thing that they're grinding. You know what? I've been buying a house. I'll tell you a story real quick. I was buying a house recently, and I realized that some banking institutions and apps like Cash App and PayPal are for poor people because you can't move a certain amount of money without them trying to verify you 10,000 times and do this. And it's like, now we're in JPEGs. Now we're making ridiculous money out of nowhere because you sell a picture for an ETH or two. And then it's like, okay, life changes all of a sudden. But that's too much money for banks, apparently. So it's
I will
strange.
I will
It's
be
weird.
very cautious with my comments on that. But
Weird.
Yeah, it is. It is life changing though, and so is what we're doing in DeFi Kingdoms. We just did 2 days at Decentral Con, and so many people came up and not only were impressed that we're not only like a standalone DEX or a game, a simplified game, or have NFTs, but we're all of that. And we have a dynamic approach in the NFTs, and we're cross-chain gaming. People are it's blowing their minds, the innovation that we're bringing, and a lot of expressed that it's changed their life from the earning aspect. I've had a number of accounts where people just playing the game are making more money than their full-time jobs, like after 10 years of education.
Weird.
Yeah, it's weird. It's new.
I want to touch bases about the approach on the DEX, right? You guys are making it. You were just tapping into these powerful groups, right, for profits. I mean, I guess, big enterprise, what I mean. But let's talk about DEXs and how you guys chose the approach of going and becoming a DEX, a decentralized exchange. And can you talk a little bit more about that approach and how is it working?
Yeah, so when we launched the DEX, it wasn't just like, hey, let's throw a DEX in there. If you are familiar with like MMORPG games, like the traditional ones, you gain resources. So there's like crafting, you can go fishing, you can mine, you can garden. So you get all of these in-game resources and then equipment and weapons. And there's a little bit of RNG there where you could have like a good drop and it'd be more rare. So if you're playing those games and you get a good drop, you're like, yeah. But it's only worth like made up money in a game. Now it's worth made up money in real life. And the DEX needs to really support those tokens, right? So every bit of resources, all of the weapons and everything will be like on Harmony HRC20 or ERC20 compatible tokens that you can sell in the DEX. So right away, because of all the resources we were going to create, we needed a DEX. The DEX really drives the game. We also want to be able to bring in all other, power tokens and, major tokens. So starting the DEX with like Jewel to Bitcoin, Jewel to One, Jewel to ETH, it just played well with the entire project. It's really the backbone of the project. We also have a couple projects on there that are smaller on Harmony. We want to make sure that as we are kind of lifting up or the tide is rising for us, we're bringing others with us. So there are a few other projects that are newer that we do, allow exposure to and we do support and try to partner with.
That's extraordinary. And I want to tap into a little bit more on the gaming industry again, because everybody's talking about Metaverse, and now it's like a cliche word, right? Everybody creating their own Metaverse and the use of NFTs for Metaverses. And we're still in 2021. We're about to, I guess, engage on a new era of all these Metaverses, perhaps launching in 2022. What can you tell us about 2022 for you guys? What is coming next?
Yeah, I guess you can kind of look at it as a metaverse of DeFi Kingdoms, right? Because we talked about cross-chain gaming. We've identified our first next chain. there will be more. I don't think we're going to go crazy and have multiple, but at one point, the long-term multi-year roadmap will include multiple realms, right? So you will get into the game on whatever chain is kind of your native chain of choice, and you'll start, funding the gardens and earning rewards there. You'll get your heroes, quest them, start getting resources. Later, we're gonna have land. We're gonna have PvP so that the heroes can actually like compete with each other, PvE and other things. So as you start to build out that real metaverse of DeFi Kingdoms and the multi-realm kind of reality of it, there's so much that you can do that anybody that is wondering what's the longevity of DeFi Kingdoms, it's really hard to comprehend at this point because we are going so fast. In 3-ish months, we hit about $500 million in market cap. You asked about the community.
Pause. I need everyone to soak that in. In 3-ish months, $500 million in market cap.
Yeah. And so it's been very wild. I think our average daily users ranges between like 10,000 and 20,000. If you hop on DApp Radar and you look at just volumes, it's not even an accurate number. I think we have days where we're at 40 to 50 million. I think that's just from Jewel volume. To give you a reference point, Axie is usually at like 30 to 40. So oftentimes we're popping up at the top of that. So a lot of growth that we've seen, but going forward, the future is really bright. It's going to be so fun. Our team is growing very rapidly on the dev side, on the creative side. We talked about
exactly going there. So sorry.
Yeah, well, I mean, we talked about like a little bit the art, and we're kind of celebrating art here this week. Each one of not only the NFTs, but if you look in the map, that's pixel by pixel creation. Like the guys that do our map, shout out to Cinnamon Bun who kind of updated our
shout out to Cinnamon Bun.
updated our map I think like a month ago. They got really good reaction. There's so many little details and animations. There's little bunnies hopping around, the bun. People love the bun. There's like a little dog people like to look at. You can zoom way in a couple areas and see like little pixelated chickens. So it's like, yeah, there's great utility. Yeah, you can make a bunch of money, but it's also beautiful. There's so much work, so much creativity going into it from an artist perspective.
That's absolutely amazing. Now, Jorge, I know you're going to ask about, I guess, your developing team growing and stuff. I know you're not necessarily technical, but can you tell us a little bit about, I guess, the development behind the game in terms of like how it's grown from then to now? Yes, you're not part of the original team, but from what you've seen so far, how has the actual DEX grown?
And just to be clear, I'm not a foreigner. I've been invested on day one. The launch party was at my house. I know people.
Okay, hold on. You're basically part of the founding team. You can't say that you were in day one and the launch party was at your house.
I'm a part of the founding supporting humans.
Yes.
But I do not take credit for the founding team. To do what they did with no marketing, no funding, while all working other jobs and created a product that was not only beautiful, but effective and innovative, I'm not taking credit for that. But I did help as much as I could along the way.
You can take credit as a amazing community member.
Yes, I will take credit for that.
I wanted to last question, perhaps on the technical side, because I would love for you guys to tell us about your experience here these days in Miami. And I know you guys had a large presentation in booth and everything at the Central Miami, which was floated with tons of people from all over the world. But before going there, I want to ask you, what do you guys are, what perhaps want the developers to get more engaged at this point? Perhaps developers that are not necessarily working directly with you guys, but what do you guys want perhaps developers to be aware of?
Yeah, I mean, and I kind of ignored your question. I'm so sorry.
It's fine.
So I'll try to answer both at one time. So Professor Tango who is over kind of our dev side. And Frisky Fox has been kind of holding all of the Solidity code knowledge, and we just did a new hire. I think his name is Mr. Fawn. And the Solidity side, we've
You
been
guys have some great team names. I'll tell
yeah,
you
it's,
that
I think it's a
much.
requirement.
Yeah.
If you join and you're just like, I'm Bob, I'm like, hey, can you
Hey, no, you got to fix that,
can
Bob.
you not?
You
Yeah,
got to be Billy Bob.
Billy Bob might work. But yeah, on the dev side, we are looking for incredible talent, but we also want to preserve like the culture we have. There's not one person with the mindset of let's do a money grab, let's do this quick, let's be a blip and then get out. Everybody is, like I said, ending jobs and careers that they've had for like a decade to dedicate our lives to this, like literally our lives. So on the dev side, we're also looking to engage the community. You know, Harmony One has a great approach where they are constantly looking to engage and give back to the community. Part of that's like workshops. Part of that is like hackathons, and we're actually looking to partner with them to put up money that we have within DeFi Kingdoms with funds that they have to identify those in the community that would benefit from being involved in more of a like hackathon fashion, but also be compensated handsomely and really participate in building the kingdom. So a lot of focus on that talent. So if you're out there and you're like, wow, this is a beautiful project, I do have that passion, I do want to contribute, please reach out. We want those that have the skills and the intent to help build this.
That's amazing.
Awesome. Let's talk about the kingdoms in Miami. You guys had a large footprint here this week, not only here at the Sagamore Hotel, along with us in Beat Basel, at Beat Basel, but also at the Central Miami, which was floated with people from all over the world. You guys had a giant food activation footprint, speakers as well. What have you been you have so far? How have you enjoyed Miami, and what do you see what's possible for
Well,
you guys?
I'm really tired. My voice is not
Amen to that.
my voice is not maybe the best. But you walked by the booth. I mean, what did you see? Did you see people standing around not talking?
There was like at least 5 people waiting for speaking with each and everyone with a Harmony shirt.
I felt like I
There,
was
it
at the
was amazing.
DMV. I felt so bad because I'm like I see people like interested and wanting to get in and
On it, you know, here, alpha tip: get a megaphone next time, and then just, you know,
yeah,
everyone
that's
can hear you.
that's a good idea. We had a TV up and it was kind of playing a video back and forth. So even those that weren't actively engaging, they were looking over shoulders, they're looking at the TV. It was really cool. A lot of like community members were there too, and they jumped in, they started engaging. So yeah, it was a very successful kind of. It was our first event we did live. We haven't had core team there. We have had a few of our contributors there. A shout out to Flu, who was in New York a bit before and was here with us this time. So very successful.
In New York, were you in town for NFT NYC?
We were not there, but Flu was
Flu
there.
was there. Flu
He's
was
one of our
representing.
main contributors. We have a lot of, as I mentioned, bards and others. But Flu works with me directly, so he's kind of on biz dev. I take my 10 years of centralized finance knowledge, and I take his, many years of DeFi knowledge, and we squish it together, and we make a good team.
Awesome. Just bridging the gaps, guys. Bridging the gaps.
I love it. Well, I would love to see if there's questions, Chris, on the Instagram questions, or because people is watching us. If you can translate any questions, I appreciate if you guys
You guys can
want
check
to
the
throw some
other stream
questions
too.
on the audience or so far. Please don't be shy. Throw your questions there. We have a few more minutes to go live. And before we gather questions or something else, would you like to communicate where is best for people that's watching for the first time DeFi Kingdoms? Where can they go? What do you recommend? Best directions
Sure.
to start their journey?
Yeah, I mean, first go to game.defykingdoms.com. When you get there, you'll be prompted to play. When you click play, it's going to check if your MetaMask wallet has any Harmony One in it, because that is what we need to, pay those very low transaction fees that we talked about. If you don't have it, get one, bridge it over, and once it's there, you'll hop into the game, create your profile, and start clicking around. So that's the game website. You can also catch us DeFi Kingdoms on Twitter. You can join our Discord, very active group. If you're completely new, you have no idea like what a MetaMask is or anything, get in the Discord, and the bards that we have are going to, help with that tremendously.
Awesome.
Amazing. Thank you so much for joining us, first and foremost. Guys, again, DeFi Kingdoms. I think that your website is game.defykingdoms.com. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Guys, check it out. There's a huge community. If you guys are into DeFi, which I know I am, I love yield farming. I am a humble farmer. Check out this cool game. Honestly, your name is very fitting. You are a dreamer indeed, because I see your vision. I see the vision of DeFi Kingdoms. Again, you guys have started up 3 months ago and have a pretty impressive record so far. And shout out to Harmony for supporting all your endeavors. That is amazing.
Shout out Harmony, DeFi Kingdoms.
And could I just recap how we play to earn?
Yeah.
Like, is that okay?
Absolutely.
Because like I feel like we glossed over that a little bit, and I apologize. But so you mentioned you're a farmer. People that are getting capital, making pairs, staking them in liquidity pools, which I think is awesome, because I come from a centralized world where you need buyers and sellers, and this whole AMM approach to making that market is incredible, and it's awesome. So our APRs right now are ranging anywhere from like 700% to 1,000%. I will just let that speak for itself. So as the high emission that makes that possible, you would think, oh, your price must be bleeding, right? So our price isn't the most important. We talked about market.
We're good.
Yeah, you're good. So yeah, playing there. So there's the farming, which you're really getting paid to provide that liquidity. And then there's the hero NFTs. So we have Gen Zeros. They were sold initially in like 2,000 Gen Zero heroes in 11 minutes. There's like $4.5 million a few weeks after we launched with like no marketing. Those Gen Zeros are then used to summon more heroes. At this point, I think about 50,000 have been summoned through the community. The lowest, like most common, least valuable hero is about 50 jewels. So at $8, you can kind of do the math and see, okay, so the floor there is a couple $100. The Gen Zeros, which are really valuable because it has that unlimited summon ability, they're selling from like 60,000 to like 300,000 right now. So the play to earn aspect is, obtaining a hero, summoning, and maybe getting a very rare drop of that hero that would be much more valuable than the price to summon it. You can earn that way. You can then take your hero out and quest them, earn the various types of ERC20 tokens through the quest, like fishing for fish. Like that fish is going to be a token. It actually trades. There was a Twitter post today showing that the DeFi Kingdoms tokens, there's one very popular fish, the bloater, and I think it's like number 6 or something ahead of all the Harmony tokens right now. A fish that we launched like 2 weeks ago. So the DEX, the NFTs themselves, and the rare value that you get from summoning them and then applying them in the game, questing them, getting those resources, and selling those. A lot of ways you can play to earn.
I love everything about it. I think my favorite thing about DeFi Kingdom so far are your names. Okay, that's my favorite thing. The bloater, what is it? Cinnamon bun, Dreamer.
Cinnamon bun, Dreamer.
I love it. I love it. You guys have a very strong community, and it's very homesy. I think the most important thing when looking into some of these DeFi protocols is making sure that they're safe, making sure that you kind of like know the team somewhat, or you know somebody. And I think that you guys have all the good grounds covered, from what I can see.
Thank you,
guys. No question about it. No doubt. DeFi Kingdoms. If you guys are developers, if you guys are programmers, or you guys are yield farming, getting into gaming, or are an advanced perhaps gaming persona developer, no doubt about it, DeFi Kingdoms on top of Harmony is extraordinary. Sounds amazing. I'm going to start my journey as soon as possible. And I do it. I love to welcome you guys again in Miami. Perhaps we can engage our local developers and our local. Is there any questions, Chris? Maybe. All right.
No, they're just enjoying the show.
Anything else that you want to add?
Nope, nothing to add. Just happy to be here. Thank you for having me. I'm glad that our NFTs are going to be on display. You can also hop in the game and see them for yourself and get out there, play, and build your kingdom. So excited.
You guys heard it here first from Miami. Bit Basel out.
Bullish.
Thank you everybody for watching. Please come by, check out all the DeFi Kingdoms, NFTs, and all the graphics that we have here display, supported by the Harmony Protocol as well at the Sagamore Hotel. We're gonna be here until Sunday, and thank you everybody for watching out there on social media. We're gonna come back probably Saturday with another activity from DeFi Kingdom. Stay tuned. Thank you so much.
Chris, end the stream.
Over here.